to Eugene, Oregon, where Dan Lanning has an open checkbook because Phil Knight turned 86 and said, I want a national championship. Here's my checkbook. Go buy a team if you need to. Go do whatever you need to do. They are winning bidding wars in high school against top flight elite of the elite teams who have very big operational budgets. I mean, it's not broadcasted. These collectives don't broadcast just how much they are willing to spend, but there are teams out there where they're beating the Ohio States of the world who have very big, nice collectives very well here because Phil Knight wants a national championship and Dan Lanning has a team here that could potentially do it. But similar to Ohio State, the questions are, can you pop into that top 5, that elite category in a couple groups and have that developmental growth to do it? Offensively, I mean, the checkbook speaks because you got Dylan Gabriel. I mean, just a plug and play guy, perfect in this system. And then you go and you get Dante Moore, a former 5-star that you're just like, yeah, we'll house him for the season. We'll let him develop. We'll get in-house scouting of him to see if we want to keep him on for years to come. But he's going to sit there on the bench, watch Dylan Gabriel play, a professional at this point college football player who handles his business on and off the field. And we'll see what happens. Like, Gabriel's skill set is so great here for Oregon too, because he gets the ball out quick. He's not afraid to push it, but he's not too risky with that. Like, his risk profile is kind of in that sweet spot where he will push it a little bit more than Bo Nix, but he's not stupid with it. His ADOT will definitely increase. I mean, it's hard not to. Bo Nix, 67% of his passes were short of the sticks last season. Like, Gabriel's going to increase that a little bit here. I think they'll also run him a little bit more, which will be nice. He has that skill set. He doesn't have the craziest arm. It's not like super strong. There's a reason he's still in college and not at the NFL level, and that's one of them. But his skill set matched with Will Stein as the OC, I mean, it's a match made in heaven. It's plug and play. You don't have to worry about some huge drop off, I think. I even think that the floor might be raised a little bit at the quarterback position. Like, Nix is a little bit of a better athlete, but play style, I think Gabriel fits a little bit better here. Running back Jordan James, I mean, he's just a freak, runs hard and angry, gets downhill on you. Who's going to kind of come in and be the solid second guy in that room will be very interesting to see as the season develops. Wide receiver, I mean, Will's come out and he said this is the most talented wide receiver room he's ever been around in his coaching career, which is pretty incredible. You get Evan Stewart, ultra talented guy coming over from Texas A&M. Let's see what he does in a fun offense that will actually utilize his skill set. Because there's a talent profile there that was not unlocked at Texas A&M that very well could be unlocked here at Oregon. It would be very exciting to see. Tez Johnson, fantastic in the slot last season for them. Holden is solid. They beat out Ohio State for this Jeremiah McClellan. He's a freshman, but they're going to look for him to contribute right away. With sophomore like Dickey in there as well in the rotation. So they've got some really nice pieces. At tight end, Ferguson is great. Like, it's just a really, really, really nice complement of guys that all the skill sets from a talent standpoint and quarterback standpoint seem to fit really nicely, at least on paper. We'll see what it happens when live bullets start flying here, but everything just kind of gels very perfectly, I think, for Oregon this season offensively, from a talent standpoint. Offensive line, though, you lose your center and right guard from last season, but you get your right tackle back. He had a nice season. This Lapin kid played every position at some point or another. They're going to slot him at center. The offensive line will be interesting as far as how well they can gel and how quickly they can do it. And similar to Ohio State, I think there's a pretty decent floor set here, but can they raise their level of play? Can they get the most out of this offensive line group? They're going to have to if they want to push for a national championship. Defensively is probably the area they need to make the biggest jump. It's not that the defense was bad. It wasn't. It's just Dan Lanning is a defensive-minded guy. They seem to have another gear that they just could not shift into last season, and are going to be looking to need to do that this year. Like, Jordan Birch needs to get going fast at edge for them on the defensive line. Inside was an area of focus. So, they gave Derek Hammond a bag to come over from Michigan State. They also got Codwell. Like that makes them now really strong inside. So they identified that area. They're really nice inside on the defensive line. Kind of guy like Birch, though, get going fast off the edge, really kind of set some pressure there. Linebacker, I think, is going to be really just a solid group. I don't have super high expectations for them, but I feel like it shouldn't be a problem for them. They went out and spent in the secondary. I mean, they got some of the best corners money could buy in the transfer portal, both at the Power 5 level and the Group of 5 level. Like Jabbar Muhammad comes in, arguably the best corner in the portal, coming down from Washington. Absolutely fantastic. Cam Alexander is making the jump from the Group of 5, but he was incredibly solid last season. You got Kobe Savage coming in from K-State to start at safety. Like they spent in this room, and the talent profile raised the bar. So this is, once again, you have some ultra talented guys on the defense. Can Dan Lanning get them to play as one and raise that floor to be an elite defensive unit? And if he can do that, as long as there's no major injuries, I love Oregon this season. Some of you might be sitting here going like, you're glazing Oregon. I'm incredibly high on Oregon's chances this season. It's just the defense has to play. It has to play better than last year. Not that it was bad last year. It just has to raise its profile. That was not a national championship level production out of the defense last year. There's ultra talented guys littered throughout the roster, offensively and defensively. The talent profile is there. What does your development look like over the last couple of years? How well can these transfers gel into your system, and how quickly? Big questions. The pieces are set. The table has been set for Oregon to feast this season and to make a push for that national championship. Let's see if Dan Lanning's worth his salt this season. From there, we move on to Penn State, a program that